I see Jessica's coming in to meet us. I think all are here. Is there, let's see, we need an advisor to do the advisor part this week. Would anybody like to volunteer? Miss Phelps, is that you?
Yes.
Will you be the advisor today?
Sure.
All right, we're ready. Jaden, whenever you are.
The meeting call will come to order. We are now holding this week's Louisiana Ag Teachers Meeting. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
Stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed by the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The parliamentarian.
Stationed by a copy of Robert's Rules of Order.
Your duties there?
I assist the secretary in maintaining accurate records and answer any and all questions pertaining to parliamentary procedure which may arise during business meeting or session.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will dispense with the roll call. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA membership possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Once again, thank you guys so much for allowing us to do opening ceremonies for the third time. We're so grateful to be able to continue doing this for you guys, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jaden. I'd like to welcome everybody. Our numbers are growing. That's really exciting to see that we're still trending upward as far as participation of people coming to the meeting. I'd like to start by wishing everyone a happy Teacher Appreciation Week. I hope that everyone in your, I know that was a special week for me when I was in the classroom, and I hope that virtually your leaders, your administrators, your networks are finding creative ways to show you how much they appreciate you. We have a guest today that has joined us, Miss Jessica Vallelongo, who has roots in St. Bernard as a teacher in CTE. I believe she was also a secondary supervisor. Cannot keep up with her titles, but she's basically our liaison when it comes to Jumpstart and anything related to Jumpstart and career tech policy. I usually call Miss Jessica. She sits on the Ag Ed Commission with me, and Jessica's came to our livestock show. She's been to our convention. She has helped us create some new credentials. She's worked with us very well through different policy changes that we're working with through the department or the agency. She raises chickens in her backyard, and overall she values our organization. She's witnessed us at our best, and she understands where we fit. And overall, I feel really supported to have Miss Vallelongo in the meeting. She also helps keep me abreast of other task force and commissions and meetings that are going on around the state, so that I can keep myself educated on things as they change and flow. Jessica, I'll offer you a second to introduce yourself, not to really give any sort of report, but you have the floor if you so choose. All right, maybe Jessica doesn't want to speak today. I'm going to paste a link in the chat bar for anyone that is interested in attending the Teacher Leader Summit. It has been extended. I believe it filled up actually, and they have extended the numbers of participants since it's in a virtual format, and I think that closes this weekend. So if you've been interested in attending the Teacher Leader Summit, then you still have a chance to do that, and the registration is in the link. You can also find the registration in my email that I sent out last week on the update. Next thing I've got is, excuse me one second, I can't text and talk at the same time. Okay, next thing I have on my report is summer school tuition at McNeese State University has been greatly reduced to anyone that wants to go and get some graduate hours. It's $185 for graduate students, $250 for undergrads. I think Mr. Luzerne is sharing that out later today. The Parliamentary Pro Power Hour, that is quite the event. Coming out of Penn State. If you'd like to participate in that, I'm going to put the registration link in the chat bar once again. Also, you can find that on my weekly down at the bottom. I'm going to save that for later. I've been watching the legislative session, the budget surplus basically that we had coming into January and February. We were talking about teacher pay raises and large investments in early childhood education. That surplus, listening to the appropriations reports the other day, is pretty much gone. I mean, we're not in any position to really ask for a pay raise or see one coming in this year. Looks like there are going to be some difficulties. REC, the Revenue Estimating Committee, meets Monday, and there's a lot of unknowns coming out of REC simply because of the timing of the lockdowns. Not really going to show up until midsummer when April and May receipts, April and May is completely affected by businesses being shut down. March was about half the month was still up and running. So the REC saying they can't get a clear estimate of what the budget will be. They even use some words like we're guessing on a lot of this, and that's a little disconcerting coming from the economists. But they're great at what they do, but they've never seen times like this. So let's be ready to hear some lean times in the budget due to the COVID-19 shutdown. There's a lot of money that has come from the CARES Act to education, and your parishes have been meeting with the Department of Ed. Your superintendents and their leadership teams have been meeting on how that money will be dispersed to support distance education in the upcoming days and weeks. Last thing, I would like to share my screen really briefly. For those of you that are plant nerds like me and they're teaching kids at a distance and dealing with some of the difficulties of that, this particular app, I've been involved with this sort of technology since graduate school, when we were identifying trees with Leaf Snap. It was one of the first take a picture of a plant type apps and get an identification of that plant. That technology has evolved tremendously in the last 4 years, and I have always wanted one that was outside of the forestry realm, and these have started to come out, and I download every one of these types of apps. This is one of the better ones that I found. You can get an automatic identity or suggestion of an identity for plant, flower, weeds. You can do nursery and landscape. You can do a lot more variety of plants identification with your kids through this app. It's called Picture This. You can find it on all the app stores. It's free. It does offer in-app purchases, but the app itself has no cost. So as you're teaching distance learning with your agricultural students, with your nursery kids, with your floriculture students, and they're going out, if you want to add this to some of your assignments or just explore it for yourself and think about using it next year when we go back to school, I suggest you download the Picture This app and begin to play with that. Is Mr. Boyce with the foundation report.
Good morning, y'all. I'd like to welcome everyone to the call and echo Dr. Smith's thoughts on all of the educators present in the room as part of Teacher Appreciation Week. You guys are very much a part of this organization and help our foundation in ways you don't even know. I like to equate a traditional foundation support model similar to a table. It stands on 4 legs. The 4 legs of our foundation support are corporate sponsorship, individual giving, grant monies, and our own fundraising special events. We are very pleased to be participating in all 4 of those aspects of the model. All 4 of those aspects of the model are moving forward. We have events scheduled on the table, many of which are TBA. They just are going to come later in the summer than we anticipated originally. I'd also like to update you guys on the fact that the Cavender's Boot Store is still selling FFA t-shirts. You can either get them online, which I recommend you do at cavenders.com, and have them mailed to your home for either $14 or $18. All of the proceeds from these t-shirt sales will benefit the Louisiana FFA Association, your state association. You can also pick up curbside if you're in a market with a Cavender store. There are 6 stores in Louisiana, in the Lafayette, Gretna, Denham, Monroe, and I believe there are 2 Cavender stores up in Shreveport, Bossier area. So that's a wonderful thing that they are doing for us, a Texas-based company that is in the Southeast and supporting your FFA in a real, tangible manner. I'd also like to report, as part of my my area, to say that our social media presence has increased significantly. Thanks a lot to the state officer team as well for putting out wonderful content on the laffa.org website. We have seen much traffic directed towards our website. More so, we also have a lot of page views, more likes and positive feedback than we have in the past. Also, I'd like to thank the state officer team visitors who went to the Ardent Mills flour mill in Port Allen back in December of this past year, as that has opened up a line of communications between plant manager Matt Transcucci and myself. I will be attending a call-in, a WebEx webinar to find out more information on possible internships, as well as a potential sponsorship. So that is very much in direct correlation to that state officer visit. I don't think we had a presence at the state association level with Ardent Mills before our visit. Also, we have confirmed that we will be hosting the clay shoot for the FFA in Natchitoches Parish up in the Natchitoches shooting range. Once again, the date is TBA, but we are on their calendar as well. Finally, I'd like to bring to your attention the last month of your foundation board meeting. We voted to create a national travel fund, which will be funded up into the amount of $5,000. Then at that point in time, first of all of Mr. Boyce's communications will involve or emphasize this new fund so we can try and grow it and get support for the FFA across the state level. But that fund is specifically designed to come back with a stipend to travel teams, CDE teams, proficiency finalists, national band and chorus members, as well as national chapter finalists, to provide a stipend for them to travel up to Indianapolis. And that is your foundation report. I'll open the floor to questions.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Next on our agenda, I have Miss Samantha Earhart, President of the LATA.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to reach out and give you notes on still having our LATA conference at the end of July. Everything is still good with that, depending later on the governor's mandates. But as for right now, it is still on. The block is still open until June 29th, and there are still rooms available in the block if you haven't been able to make reservations yet. The NAAE Region 2 conference is in New Mexico. It has been canceled. We're going to host a virtual Region 2 conference, which will be the same dates of June 15th through the 17th. They're going to put out a registration link for that in the next week or so, because we will still have to conduct committee meetings, awards, and normal business during this virtual conference. I'd also like to mention NAAE awards that are due on June 1st. I've compiled a list of all the awards with the links to the applications and the qualifications for those applications. Most of them are short, a page or two. I know everybody's wrapping up proficiency awards today, and I'm going to email this out this afternoon. But if you or you know anyone who would fill out these applications so we have a presence on the NAAE level. We are looking at maybe having the people who win awards recognized at the gala next year. So it'd be a little incentive in our state as well, not to mention going to the NAAE conference in December. Legislatively, we have been in contact with Mr. Joe Mapes and things that are coming up. Everything is starting to, the session's back on, so we're keeping a watch on everything that's coming out and all the bills that are going to affect us. If you have any questions, any comments, any ideas of something we need to be working on, please reach out and let me know. Thank you. Thanks,
Samantha. While we're on that discussion of of LATA is if anyone knows of any retirees coming up, I've heard of a couple unofficially, or any jobs that are coming open. We do have 6 to 7 undergrads who just became certified, and I think 5 of them are currently looking for spots. They're not going to get the traditional first week of June FFA convention grounds where they go around and give out their resumes and look for those spots. So we're doing everything we can to post those on our website. If you know of any things that'll be open, please get that to me or Samantha so that we can share it. Also, the LCTCS scholarship. Remind your students that the FFA scholarship for $500 is still in effect, and if a kid wants to use it for summer coursework, they need to have their application completed by the last week of, I think it's actually June the 1st. And if they would like to use it in the fall, they need to complete their admissions by August 1st. And they can only use this scholarship if they go to school immediately following high school. I know there's a lot in the media about this generation of kids taking a year off and then going to school later to see how COVID-19 shakes out. And that's a personal decision that I would support on an individual level with anyone that needed it. But we need to stress to our kids, or those of you who have those students in those contexts need to let them know that they can't come in the fall of 2021 and fill out the application to LCTCS and actually receive that $500 scholarship, because it's only eligible if you go to the LCTCS system immediately following high school. Next on our agenda, if Nina is in here, I don't see her. So we'll skip Nina and go straight to Mr. Lejeune to finish this up.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Good morning, everybody. I'll share my screen again with you. I don't have as long of an update as I've had the past several weeks. Most of this is going to be about award review. Let me pull this up. All right, Dr. Smith, can you see this document?
Yes.
All right. So as I've been mentioning the past several weeks, if you're looking for updates to all of our schedule changes, you can find them on our website. Let me show you again where that is. If you go to the home page, and if you scroll over to COVID-19 updates, this page provides all of the most current up-to-date information on schedule for everything from now through August as we currently have planned. And again, please remember that this is all subject to change. If the governor changes the stay-at-home order, it will probably impact our schedule. So it just depends on things that are out of our control right now. But this is the schedule that we're hoping to follow. So please just keep update on this page for the most current information. Specific to award applications, which are all due today, for the pre-registration part that closed last night, we had about 550 award applications were pre-registered. Now, I'm not expecting we're going to get 550. I've already heard from some of you that you won't be submitting all that you registered. That's still a pretty large number, and that's good. I'm glad that a lot of you were still able to work with your students to get those applications done. Remember that you need to email all of your award applications to my Ag Center email address by tonight at 11:59 p.m. That'll be the cutoff. Starting tomorrow, they're going to be organized, categorized, and then we're going to start sharing them with the teachers who are going to be doing the grading. Whenever you send them, please don't print it off, scan it, and then email the picture of what you printed. Just download the document directly from AET for those that you can. So your state degrees, your national chapter, your proficiency awards, all of those, you're going to build the application in AET anyway. So just download the PDF directly from there and email it to me. You don't have to put any physical signatures or do any other kind of work on it. No signatures are needed for any applications that are due today. For a lot of them, we've gone to electronic signatures anyway. Those electronic signatures will not be required unless the application qualifies for national competition. So no physical signatures are needed on anything, even for the applications that are not generated through AET, such as the Livestock Exhibition Award, we don't need signatures on. For supplemental pages on the proficiency awards, we discovered you upload those directly for national judging, but if you upload them into the award application, it will send it to me as part of one PDF. So you don't have to send a separate supplemental page for your students. Just upload it directly into the application and send it on. Remember that for STAR awards, you have to have several parts. There needs to be 3 letters of recommendation. There has to be the SAE agreement. There has to be a current 2020 version of the student state degree attached to it with records ending on December 31st of 2019. That's because on the grading rubric for all of the 4 STAR award areas, a large chunk of the grading component comes from the state degree application. So it has to be updated through this year. Make sure you take care of that and send me a copy of the current state degree application with the STAR award application so that the judges will have access to it. We got questions about proficiency award applications for 9th graders. A 9th grade student is eligible to apply for a proficiency award in our state. The application will say that there are errors because for national FFA purposes, you have to have a minimum of 12 months of FFA membership to qualify to participate on the national level. Well, clearly a 9th grader is not going to have 12 months. They can apply in Louisiana, we'll grade them, but remember that they can't win first place. You have to have at least 3 full years of records to win first place in our state. So again, 9th graders are welcome to apply for senior awards. Just remind them that they can't win until they get that 3rd year of records. On the state degree applications, they have to have 5 activities above the chapter level. You need to make sure that those are specific. I've been looking at some coming through and given some comments to some of the teachers to correct them. If you put something like livestock show, you need to specify which livestock show. Things like that are going to be kicked out by the committee. And once it goes to the committee, that's it. There is not an opportunity to correct it. So make sure that they're specific in the activities that they're listing. Same thing on the community service. They need to specify what the service is. If you read on the application, you should specify who you perform the community service for and then describe what you did. So just be as specific as you can. I also noticed on some, I think it's on the 2nd or 3rd page of the application where you discuss the size and scope and description of the project. Make sure you're detailed in what that description is also. If you just put raise cattle, you need to be more descriptive than that. What kind of cattle? How many cattle? You're supposed to show growth in the size and scope of the SAE. So make sure you're detailed whenever you do that. American degrees are not due today. Those are going to go straight to national FFA. Those have to have electronic signatures. You're going to submit those directly to the state level from AET. When the student completes the application, you get all of the 4 required electronic signatures. There's going to be a button, I believe it says complete and submit application. You click on it. When you generate it, it will submit it to the state level. I'm going to run a report on May 16th and share with all the ag teachers to make sure we didn't miss anyone. But those are not due until May 15th. If you have a student who's going to apply for an American Star Award, it'll be due at the same time on May 15th. And then Ag Science Fair is not going to be due until July 1st, so we still have more time on that. If you have any questions about awards at all, again, if you go to our website, click on Association, scroll down to Awards and Degrees. This will provide all the information you need. Dr. Smith and I did a short tutorial sometime back. This video, it's about 20 minutes long. I would highly recommend you watch that. And then our award application handbook still provides all of our official guidance on what's required for award applications. We still need judges. As of this morning, I think I had 15 judges or so had volunteered. That's putting the average right now. Each judge is going to have to grade about 25 proficiency awards. That's a lot. So I'm taking any and all volunteers who are willing to grade. Please let me know. I'll add you to the list. As soon as we're finished with this call, I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to start another quick training. So for those of you who are on the call who are willing to help grade, stick on for a few more minutes and I'm going to show you the process that we're going to use this year to do the award grading. A couple of other things to point out to you. We opened up registration last Friday for the state officer election process. I emailed directly to the teachers over the listserv on Friday. I'll show you on the website where to find that. From the homepage, if you click on Association and you scroll down to Conferences and Events and go to our state convention page, you'll see the link for the election. You'll click on it here. This is going to give you the description of how the virtual election process is going to take place this year. All of the candidates have already gone through their training. The NOMCOM has had their training, so we're all preparing for this virtual election. For your 2 chapter delegates to participate, you have to register them so you can get your voting code. So when you click on this link, it'll take you to that chapter registration. There's no fee. We're not charging anyone to participate in these virtual state officer elections. This will provide you with all of the information. Once you register on May 25th, you're going to get an email from WeCat Graphics. They design our website. They're going to design our election platform for us. And you'll get 2 unique voting codes for your delegates to use in the election process. We're also going to have a statewide practice the week of May 25th so that your delegates have an opportunity to go through the process and see what it's going to be like. We also recorded a tutorial video last week. If you click here, you'll get some more information on what that process is going to look like. We have state officers have been conducting virtual workshops about one every weekend or so. If you have students who would like to register for those workshops, Dakota is going to do one Saturday evening. If you go to our website, click on association, go to student leadership, right here below the state officer picture, you'll see the registration link. This one is for for Dakota's workshop. It's called Envision Your Future. She's going to do that Saturday evening. We also have cataloged the previous 2 that have been done by Salem and Victoria are also on our YouTube page. So if you want to direct your students to go back and watch those, please feel free to do that. The American Legion Scholarship is still open. It's due on May 18th. You can find that on the scholarship page of our website. It's for $1,000. We'll make sure we announce that as soon as we get them graded. And then the Grants for Growing application through Tractor Supply, that's a national FFA grant. It's been extended to May 15th. So if you weren't able to get your application in, you can win up to $5,000 through this grant. Go to our website. You can, when I send the update out here later, you can click on the link to go directly to it, or if you go to our website to the grants and scholarships page, you can find the link there, and you can also find the webinar that David Cambry did a couple of weeks ago on best practices for applying for grant applications. Does anyone have questions on any of that today? We're focused this week mainly on award applications and getting that taken care of. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
And no problem. We do have a question in the chat from Amy Green about the livestock contest, which is going to be hosted or scheduled to be hosted along with 4-H University in late August, about the those who will be eligible to participate. Now, our year starts on August 1st, does it not? Or is it September?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think we're under the assumption that it's probably going to be blended rosters on these CD teams because of the changes that are happening. I'm pretty sure that most of the kids that, well, not most, but a lot of the kids that you've registered for CDs in the spring may not be around when this takes place again in August. So we're anticipating that it's going to be different kids on those teams.
Yeah. So if they're on your roster, they're going to be eligible.
Correct. As long as they're on the roster, they'll be fine. And students who were seniors this school year will still be eligible to participate in August. We're not going to take away their opportunity.
When the seniors get purged off the roster, is that August 1st?
That might be a Miss Eton question. I don't remember. I think she's on the call.
Miss Amy, we're going to do the best we can to allow the most participation that we possibly can in all of our events. We're always going to do what's best on behalf of our students. For those of you that, I think the answer to your question is yes, incoming freshmen, if they're on your roster and are trained up for that team, will be allowed to participate. If we have another livestock contest for 2021 in the spring, those kids would get essentially 2 contests under their belt in a year's time. Below, I put in the chat bar quick link to the CDE change form. That is due in a couple of weeks, due on May 25th. Anyone that would like to submit a change to the CDE board, they will be meeting the first week of June, just as if we were at our regular convention. They'll be meeting virtually. So if there's something you'd like to change about a CDE, add or subtract or both, use that change form to do so. I don't have anything further to add unless there's somebody else that'd like to vocalize a question or put it in the chat bar. We'll pause 10 or 15 seconds for that. And if there is no takers, we'll call it a week. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all of you.
And again, Dr. Smith, for those of you who are going to help judge applications, if you'll hang on for just a few more minutes, I'm going to stop the recorder and then record another quick webinar with you. It'll be fast. It shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes. I'll show you the process for this year and I'll answer any questions that you may have on it.
So you can just stay in this particular room?
Yes, sir. We'll just stay right here.
All right, sounds good. Does anybody have anything to add to the meeting or any further questions about the goings on? All right, have a great day.